What's up, everyone? So today we are going to be reviewing the Glock 19X. This one is designed by in collaboration with Elite Force. It's the first version that they decided to make, so emphasis on Humerex for this specific model. This was purchased for originally $180. It's 300 FPS, and I got my Olight Balder Pro up front. I purchased this originally as a training pistol to go along with my real steel version, and this was actually the reason I wanted to get the real steel version, because the Glock 19X has the Glock 17 hand grip on it with the shorter slide that you usually get on a Glock 19. And so it's the best of both worlds for me, along with the Gen 5 stippling and the ambidextrous slide release on this side and that side. And then you can also change over the mag release to be for left-handed also if you want. And so it's a really great pistol. The only difference between this and the real steel, as far as cosmetically, you have these plastic sights that you got on the actual Glock, and on the real steel version you actually get night sights which glow in the dark, which is a little disappointing on this, not being able to get that. I don't know if the Elite Force version offers that or not, but that's the only area that I really have an issue with it. I have had this for about 5 years and used it pretty reliably on outdoor fields. Probably one of the straightest shooting Airsoft pistols in the $180 range. It also has a hop-up which can be externally configured, which is really nice, and we'll see if this picks up on camera, but it has notches and clicks and everything, so you can hear how many clicks you're adjusting it to. And you just use a regular Allen wrench for that. And that's one of my favorite parts about this gun, because majority of firearms, especially like my 2011 Pit Viper, you have to take the slide off in order to use it, adjust the hop up as far as that's concerned. So this is a really nice addition. And then of course you have the Glock trigger, which we'll go ahead and make sure it's clear. Okay, we got one in the chamber, so we'll go ahead and clear that. Okay, that's cleared. Okay, and then obviously no ammo in the mag, so completely cleared, and I guess has a little bit of gas in it. But yeah, so it's got a really nice trigger. So you got about 2 millimeters of pull through to that wall, and then a really nice reset, and then really nice reset right there. So really able to hit those follow-up shots really easily. I've only used it in the outdoor field, haven't really played indoor fields at all. And this gun is a really nice addition to a rifle, especially like a DMR, and then rocking this as the side pistol. So compared to now, this pistol, what I would say about it, if we start going through disadvantages and advantages of this pistol. So, for example, I have the brand new 2011 Pit Viper by Terran Tactical. Awesome airsoft gun, shoots 370 to 395 FPS. I have the CO2 version, so I like to think it's probably closer to the 400 FPS range. I'm not for sure on that or not. So coming in at 300 FPS, this is a slower shooter. Good thing is, it's legal at every single field, indoor, outdoor, no questions asked. Bad thing is, outdoor field, you're gonna probably want to rock point threes on the BB side, and you're shooting around 280, maybe 270. You're getting down kind of low on your FPS charts, but this is a really accurate weapon, so you got a good versatile gun that can stretch out just a little bit. Most interactions, most combat areas that I saw were about 20 yards max. This is the most reliable gun I've had, but that's also spread out on 5-year period. So you kind of have to look at it like that. So things that I did do to help the weapon be a little bit better, just in general. So after 2 to 3 years, you're going to want to go ahead and change the springs. So I upgraded to a 130% upgrade on the thing, on the spring that pulls this back. So it pulls that expansion chamber right there, if you can see that. So right there, that actually shoots the air back and forth on the pistol. So I did upgrade that because my other one went bad, which is normal. And then, so the thing that I didn't do is I didn't upgrade the front spring to 130. And so I've had a little bit of issue with the pistol resetting to that right there with the stock magazine. With the stock magazine, I've had that issue. Now, on my Assassin's pistol, or AP001 pistol, I have a Glock mag, which fits perfectly. And that gun is used in full auto also. And so this is overgassed compared to the original magazine. Also, my Glock 18C, which is the Elite Force, that magazine is also overgassed because that pistol is full auto. So I have no issues firing it with both of those magazines. When I have the issue is when I have this magazine. If I wanted to get rid of that issue, I would just buy a new front spring and then upgrade to the 130 spring, which they do now make. At the time that I was going to have to upgrade both springs, they didn't have it, and I used the 18C Glock magazine, and it worked perfectly fine. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and use that and call it good. So that's the only thing on that. That's more when you get into the upgrade realm. As far as increasing FPS, you're gonna have to do the piston. You don't have to, but I would recommend redoing the piston. So replacing that piston right there with a aftermarket, and then replacing the rubber piston gasket also to help get more efficiency in that gas chamber, so that you can push higher FPS. So that would be the biggest thing, and then upgrading the springs to 130%. And that can damage the gun in the long term. You'll get more wear up top on the slide just in general because you're rocking harder springs, so it will kick back faster, etc., etc. More heavier springs equals more wear just in general. I keep my guns extremely oiled though, so that's not really an issue for me. And then increasing FPS, you're going to rock mags with higher FPS, obviously. If you want to do that on the stock mag, you would do a higher outflow gate right here so that you can push more FPS out of there. So that's really up to you what you want to do. Obviously, you can upgrade the trigger to a flat CNC flat trigger, which I think would be really nice. But this stock trigger, like, I have no complaints. It's one of the best airsoft triggers I've used, to be honest, especially with this style of handgun. On the 2011s, I would say they're a little sloppier. But like I said, I keep my guns more wet just in general. So that's typically what happens with that. Over time, the springs get worn out more and they act accordingly. But this trigger feels as good, if not better than when I got it. Feels absolutely snappy. Does have a warm-up period. First mag, it's kind of sloppy, not getting through shots as well as it should. Once it gets that warm-up period, you're good to go. And of course, that's like playing when it's about 60 degrees right now. In the summer, that's not as big of an issue, obviously, because you don't have to worry about warming up because it's already warm. So this is a great pistol. I'll go ahead and shoot some rounds and show you guys what that looks like. But yeah, it's a pretty great gun for overall. So we'll get some shots real quick. And that was the whole clip. Yeah, we're clear. So it's a really great gun. And then so that was the enhanced magazine. I'm not going to go through the original mag just because I know it's going to fail. We'll shoot some rounds on this bigger mag, show you guys how it looks. But personally, I just go ahead and rock these. I really like CO2 mags, but you're going to have to upgrade the internals a little bit. So upgrade both springs and then ideally upgrade the pistons also, just so it can handle it better and not get used up as quickly, because that stock piston's probably going to get used up pretty quickly, which is fine. But if you want a gun that's going to be reliable, you don't want to have a gun that the piston goes or shreds itself on the field. So we'll get a few more shots with this. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. Yeah. So that was about 18, probably 22. Yeah, about 22 rounds right there. It's great. It's really snappy. Really feels really nice to use. I will say, using this mag pulls it up just a little more on that frame, so you got that going, which, to be honest, is probably just from this gun being a little bit older. Yeah, so doesn't, on the stock mag, it doesn't pull up the rail as much, but some of that, like I said, is because it's an older gun and I've used it a lot. So, but overall, it's a great gun. Would I recommend this gun as a starter weapon? Probably not. Probably recommend the Assassin's pistol, something like that. Good $120 pistol. Good start off. Has full auto and semi-auto. Pretty rugged pistol overall. Just great overall pistol. Less maintenance. less places to lubricate. Just great overall gun. Well, but if you do want a Glock, this is the Glock I would recommend. I would probably recommend the Elite Force 1 because I think it pushes about 320, 330 FPS. So you're starting out with a little bit higher FPS. But honestly, I would say this one's about 330. Also with the high flow mags that I usually use. So if you're going for a Glock, this is a great starting point for the Glock. The Assassin's pistol, really nice part about that too is it has the Glock mags that can fit these guns also. So if you decide to go Glock later, you're already one magazine ahead, which with Airsoft, the more magazines the better, especially since this mag's probably, so for this particular mag it's 60 because it has the Glock logo and is the tan FDE color. But if you get regular mags like this or semi-regular, you're looking at around $40 to $45 depending. So they're not cheap, they're not expensive, but they're not cheap. So that's probably the biggest drawback about this gun, but that's most drawbacks about green gas guns in general. Nice thing about the 2011, I will say, 2011s usually you can go green gas or CO2. With this, I've had a harder time going all CO2. This one starts out as a green gas and then going to CO2. You're more likely to have more failures due to that CO2 having more power just in general. So if you do like CO2, I would look at going maybe the 2011 direction. 2011 has plenty of aftermarket stuff too. 2011, I would say start with a Terran Tactical. Something like that has really good specs. Shoots really straight, etc., etc. Don't start with a fully customized 2011. You'll run into a lot of issues, and you'll definitely have to be a gun builder if you want to do a fully custom 2011. But for a Glock, this is awesome gun, really snappy. Glock 18C is a really good gun, but the problem with that is you got a lot more slide travel, especially on the Elite Force. I noticed that had a lot more slide travel, so I was eating up a lot more air or green gas than I necessarily should have. And that's another great thing about the Assassin's pistol is it's only got that one part on the backside coming up, so it's not using as much green gas, even though it's more overpowered, some would say. So, but yeah, if you're looking at a 19 or 19X, if you want a 17, I would probably go with a 19X unless you can get a red dot sight on that 17. 17's all around good gun, but for Airsoft, I like the 19 slide just so you're not eating up as much as you normally would. So that's pretty much my review on this gun. Would I buy it again? 100%. This is what got me interested in real steel. This has helped me get better training on the range, in airsoft events, etc. This is my starting pistol, and I'll show you guys next time we're on. I'm gonna go through a full deep dive on the Walther P99 by Marzen, and that's a great weapon. That was my first full green gas gun, but it didn't have all the features that this does. This is 100% all-around gun, great shooting gun, great added feature with the hop up, being able to just adjust it like that literally takes 5 seconds. I can do it with my eyes closed. Not a big deal. The only thing you have to carry an Allen wrench. So it's a great gun, great trigger, pretty decent price. You can pick it up for around $150, usually on something like Hop Up or something like that. So I wouldn't not recommend this gun. Just know it's about a 5-year-old gun, so a lot of the newer guns will have a little bit more features, a little bit newer technology, but this is all around great gun. Definitely recommend it if you want to get a Glock for the first time for your airsoft arsenal. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And this has been Morpheus324. Thank you.